lots of thoughts trying to come out at the same time. But,
So, guys, Lee Anderson has just had a leaked tape exposed about him, with him on it, exposing his hatred for reform, essentially. Let's watch the clip, or hear the clip, depending on what you're listening on, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
We're going to vote at the next election. Have you decided yet?
I wouldn't vote Conservative.
What will you vote?
Reform, Claim, Heritage.
So, how many seats do you think Reform get in the next election?
Very few.
I'll bet we now get zero. We'll get absolutely zero votes. Now, there is... We're not taking this, are we? There is a political party that McGee are that offered me a lot of money to join them. And I say a lot of money, I mean a lot of money. Respect. And I want to join them because we've got a by-election in mid-March next week. Reform have got a candidate. Now, in 2014, when UKIP were at the high, 2014, 2015, they were winning by-elections. And in general elections, in places like Ashfield, they were getting 10,000 votes. Without knocking a door, without knocking a leaf, they got 10,000 votes in Ashfield, 10,000 votes in Sherwood next door, 10,000 votes in Mansfield, get the civil involved over. Never knocked a door, never dropped a leaflet, it was all about Farage, 10,000 votes. Now, if Reform are going to make any inroads at the next election, they've got to win that seat in mid-beds, and they won't. They'll probably come third and lose the deposit. Now, all they want, Reform, and I've spoken to the leaders of Reform, they want PR, which is proportional representation. They are hell-bent and want us to get hammered at the next election because they firmly believe that Labour will bring in PR. And the election after that, in 5 to 6 years' time, whatever it is, under PR, if Reform get 5 to 6 million votes, that gives them about 40 seats in Parliament. Now, think on, that gives the Greens about 40 seats in Parliament, and the Lib Dems, dare I say it, they'd probably get the same. So then you're back to parliaments, you're back to coalitions, you're back to a Parliament where nothing gets done, ever. But the Labour Party won't do that. This is what Reform wants. They don't care about this country at all. I've met these people. For a party to want that to happen, they don't care about this country. All they want is a bit of power in Parliament. Now, the Labour Party, if you vote Reform, you give the Labour Party a chance to win. The Labour Party will bring in votes to 16-year-olds, I'm convinced they will. And if they do that, you might have just ripped memberships on that. Because you'll never see a Conservative, not in my lifetime again. If you bring votes in for 16-year-olds, we're done for generations. So, yes, we're not perfect. And I don't like selling the idea of voting for us on the opposition's worse than us, but believe me, we will be in a right mess if the Labour Party get in the next election. And a vote for Reform is a vote for Labour.
So, a leaked recording has surfaced of Lee Anderson, former Tory deputy chairman, may I add, GB News regular, and now Reform defector, absolutely laying into Reform UK. Yes, the very party he joined not long ago. Now, if that sounds bizarre, just wait until you hear what he says. In this tape, Anderson openly admits what most of us on the left already knew, that Reform UK is not a serious political party with a coherent vision for Britain. Instead, they are a chaotic pressure group hell-bent on wrecking the Conservative Party so Labour can win, and then maybe they'll sneak into Parliament later under proportional representation. Now this is the former deputy chairman of the Tory party speaking out the very people he decided to shack up with. This is a man who jumped ship to a party that wants to sabotage the country in hopes of getting a few MPs under a fairer electoral system. A party that, in his words, doesn't knock doors, doesn't campaign properly, and will, quote, probably come third and lose a deposit. You really couldn't make it up. Anderson also reveals that Reform offered him a lot of money. That's his phrase, a lot of money to join. Now, we don't know exactly how much, but he admits that the offer was significant. This raises all kinds of ethical questions. Is Reform UK effectively buying its high-profile candidates? Is this a vanity project for right-wing donors to punch above their weight? And it gets even worse. Anderson paints a doomsday picture of what would happen if Labour were to win and introduce PR, proportional representation, which they didn't do. He says it would be the end of conservatism. Green and Lib Dems getting 40 seats. God forbid we actually reflect how people vote. The twist is, though, To many voters, including myself, that's probably a good way to go. We should be having proportional representation, not first past the post. And Anderson ends with a desperate plea. He says, a vote for reform is a vote for Labour. And yes, Lee, maybe it is, but maybe that's what the country needs right now, because people are tired of a Tory party that's hollowed out public services, tired of a hard right flank that offers nothing but culture wars and nostalgia, and tired of parties that they say care about the countries, but spend more time fighting each other than fixing real problems. If this leaked tape tells us anything, it's that Reform UK is not some grassroots movement with momentum. It's a disorganised band of opportunists, even if Lee Anderson knows it, and he joined them. So if Reform's loudest voice has no faith in their chances, why should anybody else? I've been Jake from Just Jake. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Good day, sir!
You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.